Luce, part 12 of 30. Today we're going to talk about setting boundaries. Now, the reason why this is important is I've heard stories of people that take a hobby and turn it into a career, which is exactly what I did, but find out over time that it's not all it's cracked up to be. And I didn't want that for my business. I wanted longevity. And so without boundaries, there is a danger that you'll still have your passion for the thing that you do, but it can sometimes become overwhelming and become a chore. And I didn't want that. We talked yesterday about what success looks like to you. And I set my intention very early in that I was looking for a more inspiring, more fulfilling and joyful life. And Bake with Luce was a part of that. So, boundaries. I talked about this a little bit in video number 5, part 5, when we talked about product. Knowing what it is you do. What's your product? I was clear that I was not going to make cupcakes. The thing that I was good at, the skill I had, was painting. And so if somebody'd asked me, as I gave an example the other day, for a naked cake with real flowers, that's not my area of expertise. If somebody's coming to me for a special cake, I need to be confident that I'm delivering the best that I can. So I know the skills I have and I stick to that. With that said, there is a time to challenge yourself a little bit. And so I did move into sort of more sculptural cakes and a bit of engineering. But it was all still part of this trajectory up in terms of getting better at what I did, rather than, diversifying and trying to do more things that I wasn't, that maybe everyone could do. I wanted to set myself apart. So when customers come to me and say, could you make a small cake? We only want something simple. No, that's not what I do. I tried it and it doesn't give me the feeling, I spoke about yesterday that it doesn't give the customer that feeling. My promise is sharing joy through cake, the center of the universe moment, like, If I'm compromised, that compromises the product to the customer. And so on that, be clear on what it is you need. Inspired, fulfilled, joyful life. I did not want to be busy. The cakes that I do take a long time, and I want to enjoy them. Again, I've said in other videos, that passion, enthusiasm and joy comes out in the product, in the service. In fact, we'll talk about inspiring creativity perhaps tomorrow. But if I'm trying to finish one to get on to the next and I've got to deliver that here, and my full attention is not on that cake. So I'm quite mindful how many cakes I book in, what volume I'm prepared to do. I don't want to compromise my skill. I don't want to compromise the product for the customer. I know that, because it's happened to me, somebody will say, oh, could you just squeeze me in? It comes down to what your values are that you set around your brand and your product. I will not compromise one customer over another. I've had people say, oh, this person will be a good customer to you. I'm sorry, I'm already committed, is my response. Every customer that I have gets my full attention. And what this has done for me is, these boundaries have enabled me to manage my time. What we'll talk about tomorrow in terms of creating or inspiring creativity takes time outside of building cakes. And again, referring back yesterday, what does success look like? Inspiring, fulfilled, joyful. I wanted more time to spend with my friends, with my family, and doing the job I love. Having my cake and eat it, some might say. But with boundaries, I'm able to do that. So 4 years on, coming up for 4 years since I handed in my notice, goodness, it's still, with these boundaries, enables me to live that inspiring, fulfilling, joyful life. but it's having the confidence in your product to be able to say no. And I guess on your values, there's a great book actually. Oh gosh, I forget who it's by. Vishen. He wrote The Buddha and the Badass. He's like the CEO and founder of Mind Valley, which is a kind of learning hub for business, life, all sorts of incredible. But this book, yes, The Buddha and the Badass, I had a lot of Buddha. I'll talk about my daily practices as a creative another time, but I didn't have so much badass, and it came down to what's really important to me. And yeah, the success of Bake with Luce, the success overall of an inspiring, fulfilling life was finding the right balance and being confident in my product, my time, and my purpose of sharing joy through cake. So without boundaries, so it's worth thinking about that, and overall where you want to spend your time, how you want to spend your time, where you're prepared to compromise or not. But once that's clear, actually saying no, there's a reason for it. So you're not just saying no and then not being helpful. If somebody says, oh, I'd like a cake with real flowers. No, that's not what I do. But I could do this for you. Make a suggestion. That's, it's bringing it back to, these are the skills that I have. I can do this. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. But boundaries. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll have a little chat about creativity, because that's an exciting one and an important one for me. Anyway, love to chat. Mwah.